Okay, we're now live. How you doing, Appliance Bootcamp family and friends? This is Mike Sneed coming to you. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Like always, we're going to give YouTube a few minutes to send out notifications to let everybody know that we are here. Um, if you hadn't already, you can actually go to Appliance Bootcamp, and I'll put up the hiring the subs. That module is there. It should be is completed uploading. There's three parts to it, so that module is there. Also, I included the sales spreadsheet that I use to actually do the payroll and stuff for my technicians and subs. You have that too, so that's a good way to start as far as keeping up with how much money you owe them and stuff. So I have the module up for hiring subs. That's up and is ready for you to look at. It be in Appliance Bootcamp. Just go under Appliance Bootcamp and you'll see a module say hiring subs, and it's a three-part series in there. So go there and you'll see how I go about hiring my subs and how I pay my subs and the things that the apps and stuff I put on my sub phone and everything I have to get in place before I bring subs on. So you can go there and see that. You can see how I give them their work orders, how we communicate. All of that is in that module. I want to thank everybody for watching. Man, it's going. This has been a great year. I mean, extremely great year. We're starting to end it out now. We halfway through the month of December. I'm right now. I'm booking. I'm booking now for next year. With our service company, we're about 2 weeks out. Everybody now starting to get into the Christmas mode. This is the time where things start to slow down a little bit until the beginning of the year. People now are getting ready. A lot of people go travel during this time. So next week is usually a pretty slow week for us because people are traveling. They got company coming in. They're trying to do last minute Christmas shopping. They don't really want to have anything broken. They want to have everything fixed now. So with that, it normally slows down, but unfortunately, we still booked out. But that's okay. And it's been just a extremely good year. I'm so happy for this year. Uh, uh, Bad as the pandemic, but this is one of my most successful years in the service business. Um, per sub or per vehicle or whatever. It's the one of the most successful years I've had. It's just been nonstop, and everybody I think is right now is ready for a break. I'm ready for a break, so I'm looking forward to it slowing down just a little bit. Everybody is getting ready now to start planning for next year, things they're going to do to improve their actual businesses and stuff. And so, what we're going to do today, we're going to look at Brian Tracy, 1,000% formula. This is something that I've done quite a bit. I've done it many times before, where I've actually, let me turn this off. It keep ringing the whole time we're here. Where uh, you can increase your income by 1,000% by doing actually what Brian Tracy is going to tell you to do in this little short video we can ready to look at. Let me turn this off so I can go here. Or else it'll be ringing all day. All right. So we're gonna actually take a quick look at this video with Brian Tracy. Then we'll come back and we'll actually discuss it. So I'm gonna actually share this video with you, and we're gonna take a quick look at it. I think it'll let me look at it. Yep, there you go.
Once upon a time, when I started my career, I sat down at the end of the year and my tax returns were $14,400. 12 years later, I sat down and did my tax returns, and my returns were $1,440,000. I'd increased my income by 100 times in 12 years. And I went back and I started to look at that, and I realized that I'd used a formula which I gradually articulated into what I call the 1,000% formula. And it's very simple. It's based on the law of incremental improvement. The Japanese call it the Kaizen principle, the principle of continuous betterment. It's getting a little bit better every day. So I asked the question, if you could increase your productivity, performance, and output by 0.1% per day, could you do that? Could you increase your productivity, performance, and output by 1/1000th in a day? And the answer is, of course. If you were the tiniest bit more efficient, or you worked a little bit harder on a more important task, you could become 0.1% better in a day. Well, if you did that every single day for a week, you would be 0.1% times 5, you'd be 0.5% more productive in a week. Is that possible? Of course, you would say. Anybody can become that small amount more productive. So I said, if you did that every week for 4 weeks, you'd be 2% more productive over the course of a month. If you did that every day for 13 4-week months in a year, 52 weeks, you would be 26% more productive. Is that possible? And the answer is yes, because there's a thing in success called the momentum principle. That means that once you start going, it becomes easier and easier to keep going and to go faster and faster. So once you become 26% more productive in the course of a year, your overall output, your results, your income will go up by 26%. What happens is you start to get into the swing of it. You start to be more effective, more efficient. You get more things done. You start earlier, you work harder, you stay later, you set better priorities, and so on. So if you do this 26% each year for 10 years, you'll be 1,004% better. And this is what happened to me, and it's happened to every single person I've ever worked with. Not long ago, I was in Seattle, and this young man came up to me. He's about 30. I met him when he was about 22. He was working in a used car lot in a small town outside of Portland. And his name is Chris. And he came up and he said, Mr. Tracy, he said, do you remember me? I said, yes. He's a nice guy, great personality. He said, well, you know that 1,000% formula that you taught to me many years ago? I said, well, of course I remember because I've taught it to so many people. He said, Brian, it doesn't work. I said, it doesn't work. He said, it doesn't work. I said, I used it every single day ever since I learned it all those years ago. It doesn't work. I said, how do you mean? He smiled and he said, doesn't take 10 years. It only took me 7. He said, today, he said, I am earning 10 times what I was earning 7 years ago. He said, I used it every day. It's absolutely amazing. He said, I'm making more money today in a week or a month than I was often making in a month or a year. He said, by using that formula. And what I did personally is I used it once, increased my income 10 times, and then I used it again and increased my income 10 times more, 100 times in 12 years. And so can you. So here's what it consists of. It's very simply this. Each morning, get up first thing, at least 2 hours before you have to be somewhere. So you can invest the first hour, what we call the golden hour, into yourself. And you invest the golden hour by reading something that is uplifting, educational, motivational, spiritual. It doesn't matter, but they say reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. Instead of reading newspapers or magazines or watching television, what you do is you just read something that's uplifting. If you're in sales, read something in selling. If you're in spiritually oriented, read something spiritual. If you want motivation, read something motivational, but read 1 hour every morning. That will thoroughly prepare your mind for the rest of the day. One of the great speakers said that the first hour is the rudder of the day. It's called the golden hour. So you invest the golden hour in yourself. And just like if you got up in the morning and worked out for an hour, you'd be feeling great all day long. If you get up in the morning and read for an hour, you'll be feeling mentally great all day long. Step number 2 in the formula is make a list of everything you have to do that day. Sit down, make a list. Everything that you have to do, plan your day in advance. Step number 3 is organize your list by priorities. Determine what's most important, what's second most important, what's third most important. Put a number next to each one. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Fourth step is to start on your most important task, as we mentioned before, and work on it single-mindedly with concentration, focus, and discipline until your most important task is done, and then go to task number 2 and do the same thing. Number 5 is listen to audio programs in your car. Turn your car into a mobile classroom. Turn your car into a university on wheels. Now, a study at the University of California, USC, concluded that if you listen to educational audio programs in your car as you drive around, instead of listening to music which we call chewing gum for the ears. If you listen to audio programs, you'll get the equivalent of almost full-time university attendance, except for one small point, is when you go to the university, people who've graduated from universities, as I eventually did, find that about 90 or 95% of what they teach you is not practical. It's theoretical, it's true, it's enjoyable, but it's useless in the real world. However, when you select educational audio programs on sales, communication, time management, goal setting for yourself, which you can stop and start if you like, you only select things that are valuable to you in the moment. So you get even more than a university education by turning your car into a classroom on wheels. You turn your car into a mobile learning machine. Here's an interesting point, going right back to the beginning. If you were to get up and read for 60 minutes each day, you would read an average of one book per week. One book per week would be an average of 50 books a year. Now, to get a PhD at a leading university in any subject, including astrophysics, you have to read about 30 to 50 books and combine them into a dissertation. If you read 30 to 50 books in your field in the course of the year, you get the equivalent of a doctoral degree, whether it's in selling, business, entrepreneurship, or any other field. You will, because you're reading material that's practical, have the equivalent of a dissertation in that you'll have blended it into your life. You can double and triple your income simply by reading 1 hour every day. And I've taught this to thousands of people who've come back to me and said it's absolutely incredible the difference it makes in your life to begin the day by reading in your field. The second thing is if you plan every single day in advance, I can promise you this, the very act of planning and setting priorities will increase your productivity by 25% the first day. If you were to set and concentrate on your most important task, you'd increase your productivity by another 50%. By simply reading, setting priorities, focusing on your most important task, your productivity, performance, and output will go up 100% in 1 year. If you then listen to audio programs in your car, many people have told me that that alone has increased their income 1,000% in 10 years. Now, what is the next step? Number 6. Number 6 is to ask yourself 2 questions after every call or every event. These 2 are what I call the magic questions, and they will change your life. Question number 1 is right afterwards, say, what did I do right in that situation? If it's a sales call, if it's a business meeting, if it's a job application or interview, if it's a negotiation, if it's a meeting with your bank, afterwards ask yourself, what did I do right? And immediately think, and even better, write down everything that you did correctly in that meeting. Because you did a lot of good things. Even if it wasn't successful, you did a lot of things that were right. Second question you ask is, what would I do differently next time? What would I do differently next time? And then quickly write down a list of all the things that you could do to improve that situation the next time you have it. Now, this is important. Many people are of the idea that you should sit down and say, what did I do wrong? Where did I make a mistake? Where did I drop the ball? But no, what's happened, if you ask those questions, your subconscious mind will record those reviews, negative reviews, as instructions. And the next time you're in the same situation, you will make the same mistake. However, if you ask, what did I do right? And what would I do differently? Your subconscious mind records those as instructions on how to behave the next time you're in a similar situation. And you'll behave automatically in that situation. Now, the 7th part of the 1,000% formula is for you to treat everyone you meet like $1 million customer. Treat everybody you work with in life as though they're the most important person in the world. Treat your customers as though they're about to buy $1 million worth of your product if they like you, and if you treat them nicely. And especially treat the members of your family. Treat your children, treat your spouse, treat your friends like they're really important people. And the wonderful thing is that the more you treat other people as if they're important, the better you feel about yourself. The more positive you feel, and of course, the more positive they feel, and the more they want to work with you and be around you. This 1,000% formula has been the key to success throughout history. Is you don't make quantum leaps. You don't go from 0 to being rich. You don't make easy money or quick money. What you do is you go to work on yourself bit by bit, day by day, week by week, month by month, and your results are virtually guaranteed.
Okay, we're back. All right. So that's Brian Tracy, 1,000% formula. Uh, I've use that and utilize that many a times. I have to go back and re-listen and listen. That's one video that I probably have listened to thousands of times, and still I have to refurbish myself. 'Cause I forget and I slack off. Um, but that is the reason. Believe it or not, appliance boot camp. It's kind of I kind of based it upon the 1,000% formula, and that's the reason why you all had in less than a year has made all these significant strides that you all are making. Because I built the appliance boot camp, the learning part, based upon what Brian Tracy is talking about, where you get up every morning, you read. That's your pregame. When you pregaming and stuff like that, and you studying, you have no choice but to get better. And you guys are out here pre-gaming, reading, and in less than a year, you all can hold conversations about appliances, technical conversations with people who've been in it for 20, 30 years, and hold your own and understand it. You all have became thoroughly immersed into this appliance repair field, into the technical part of it, and to the business part of it, because you all are constantly looking at videos. You reading. I come into the Facebook group, and I look and see the book recommendations that you all put out. And I've been grabbing these books because so y'all got some books I had never even heard of, and some authors that putting me up on game, and I'm jumping on those books and those authors. And then to hear all the information that you all are doing, and you all are going. Some people, I do the same thing. My wife get mad at me. She say I'm addicted to the cell phone. I'm not addicted to the cell phone. I'm addicted to learning, and I listen to YouTube at night. I know sometimes it's funny. I sometimes I can't wait for her to go to sleep so I can sneak and put my headphones in, because if I grab my headphones too quick, she said you can't. What you She thinks that sometimes you're looking at Facebook or something. I said nah, I'm listening to a YouTube video. With that, sometimes she thinks I'm addicted to the phone, but I have to. I'm thirsting for the knowledge so much that I go to sleep listening to it. I'm on my third set of headphones in the last 2 weeks. I bought a little cheap dollar store headphones because I stick them in my ear, and then in the middle of the night I roll over and twist and I break them out. and uh, and yeah, you can join this Zoom meeting if you want. Uh, uh, you can call in, and I twist and break them out because I'm constantly listening to this stuff, and you all are doing the same thing. And like I said, because like Brian Tracy said, what make it so well for us versus being in a university level, we know when we need to work on our marketing. University, you'll go over marketing, but you don't get a chance to apply it, and you just breeze over it, and it doesn't really mean anything to you if you're getting a MBA or if you're getting a business degree. But right now, your business needs some marketing, and what you do, you go and you find marketing, and you can go get marketing. You can get Jay Abraham. You can go look at all his videos, listen to his audiobooks, and he charged $20,000 an hour to mentor people in marketing. You can have him mentor you in marketing, and you listen to all that marketing stuff. And not only do you get to listen to it, but you get to apply it to your business, and you get to apply all that stuff to your business, and you can actually find out what works and what doesn't work. And you get more than a PhD in marketing. Same thing with entrepreneurship. It's no longer us just talking about entrepreneurship. We're out here in the middle of it, and we're doing it. And we can now take that information from stuff like Brian Tracy and them, and go out there and apply it to our business. And we see the rewards of it now. We see what entrepreneurship can do. It's not no longer no far off dream that somebody just telling us something about. And this right here is what's making us so great, because we're actually taking this 1,000% formula, and we're actually applying it right now, and we're seeing people coming in making more money than ever made in their lives. We're seeing people let me get this. We're seeing people come in quitting their jobs. I'm seeing people saying, "Hey, at the end of this year, that's it. They not going back to work. It's supposed to be the worst time ever in the United States and the whole world. We got people saying, "Hey, I'm quitting my job come the beginning of the year. I'm done. I'm walking. I'm done. I'm putting my I'm taking my business and running out." And this is a great thing too about business. I think I mentioned it in the past, but I want to mention it again. Where people say you at any time you can start over and start your life over and do better. We always hear that. People say, you can always just start your life over. Whenever you get ready, you can start it over. But when you're dependent upon somebody else, it's kind of hard to do that. If you get in bad grace with somebody else and somebody else business company and stuff, it might be hard for you to actually start all over. But I'm telling you, in your business, you can actually have a mishap in your business. And if I'm not calling the name because I've done this many times. He put it out there on Facebook. But I've done this many times where I got sideways with a customer or with a company or a property management company, and all you do is just pick up the phone and say, "Yo, man, hey, I messed up," and you tell them how you're going to correct it going forward, and what you're going to do to correct it going forward. People respect that. People respect that, and what they do then, there's hey, I'm gonna give you a chance. I feel like now that this is a person that I can depend on because this person is straight up to me. Same thing, the young guy who tried to sue me. I told him that. I told him that. This is not picking at him. I told him if that's what he wanted, all he had to do, if he wanted to switch from online to he wanted to switch from hands-on to online, just send me an email. Just say, hey, I need to switch over. Ain't no problem. I'll switch you over and go. But if the first thing you're gonna do is gonna get a lawyer to say you're gonna sue me and then gonna talk slick. Hey, now, yeah, I'm gonna push back a little bit. Him and I've been having conversations, and I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him switch over. I'm gonna let him switch over. But now we, after we talked about that, and got it straight, and he found out that I ain't care how many lawyers he sent. The lawyer ain't gonna make me do nothing. I do it when I get ready. But the fact that that's the way you do stuff. You don't come out swinging. You come out and say, hey, I need to just switch this over. And we all men and we friends. Hey, ain't no problem. I switch you over. But if you come out and you're gonna send a lawyer to me, nah, you're gonna be aggressive. But going back to what I was just saying, I've messed up with companies before. Like I said, one time I went. One of my biggest at that point in time, we was doing all of the Sears stores. We was doing all their installs and stuff, and we put the wrong connector on dishwashers. The subs put the wrong connectors on dishwashers. They're putting the metal. The metal compression ring on a plastic on a plastic hose. And it worked good during the summertime. I didn't know, and the reason the sub done it, he could get the metal kit cheaper, and he'll just buy a plastic hose and connect the dishwasher. During the summertime, it worked fine, but as soon as it got cold and that plastic contracted, where the metal didn't contract like the plastic did, and what happened, the pressure from the water will push those plastic hoses out, and it'll flood in people's kitchen. And I had kitchens flooding everywhere, and I had to go through and fix all those kitchens, and I took a beating from it, took a beating from it. But the thing is, the company Sears stuck with me because I called them and told them, say, hey, we got issue. I made them aware, and as soon as somebody called, hey, I was right there on the spot to do it. Reputation took a hit on it on the internet and all that because of that. But because of that, then I said, okay, I got two things I can do. I can ignore it and move on, or like Brian Tracy said, just keep focusing on all the bad stuff that's happening, Or I can say, hey, we're gonna fix it and we're gonna get this thing better. And after this, found me 3 or 4 good, solid customers that I say I'm gonna make sure that these customers right here are gonna continue. They stick with me. I'm gonna continue doing right by these customers and these people who's gonna stay with me. And that's what I've done. And and those customers and companies that stay with me through that, I still give them great service today, and they still depend on us to do a lot of their work. And so that's where I've done that. But yeah, you can do that with your business appliance repair. It's unforgiving. It's a forgiving business. You can actually have an issue, call somebody up, and they say, hey man, I'm gonna give you another chance. Let's get it right and go. And that's the great thing about appliance repair, that it gives you a second chance to get things right. And it's not one of these business that if you mess something up or you get twisted some type of way, you go bankrupt. It's not like that. It's one of these businesses. It'll allow you to evolve and continue to improve yourself and your business. And that's one thing too. Brian Tracy just said, treating every customer like $1 million. Sometimes I have to keep reminding myself about that one, because like I say, sometimes it get to a point when you're really busy and you constantly in the grind. You constantly in the grind. It get to the point where it can start to bother you mentally. It will bother you mentally if you constantly in the grind like this all the time. This weekend, I was talking. Matter of fact, I was talking to Slick. I think every truck and car that I had in my possession, something happened to it. Because we're so busy and stuff, and I'm so busy doing everything. I had slacked off on the maintenance like I supposed to. I hadn't been doing the maintenance and stuff because I just been so busy putting the ice cream parlor together, getting the appliance boot camp together, renovating houses, just my hands and everything. Not slacked off on the maintenance. And this past week, everything just started breaking. One truck after another. So it got to the point Saturday. I was thumbing a ride. I was having to catch a ride with my kids. I didn't have anything to drive. Every truck and stuff I had was something was wrong. I had to put them in the shop, and so I got to the point I was going to go get my dump truck and drive that around for the weekend. But what I done, I just said, okay, it was my fault. I hadn't been doing the maintenance and stuff like I supposed to have been doing. So I got everything. I got everything up and running fixed. I still got 2 box trucks that hopefully they'll be done this week. So I got 2 box trucks that's left. But I had to fix all my vehicles. I had to fix all my vehicles because everything was breaking. But that's the vehicles the same way. You putting a lot of stress and you doing a lot of work on them. They gotta have time for maintenance and get themselves back together. Same thing with us. We've been running hard this whole year. Ever since the pandemic hit, everybody's been running hard and everybody's booked out. Parts, the thing with the parts, something as simple as a water inlet valve take 3 weeks, and customers, I know the customers. I know the customers get so mad because you see the ETA uh, saying, "Oh, the ETA said the 15th." So you tell the customer ETA 15th come, you go look, the ETA done turn to the 23rd. You gotta make that phone call that morning and tell that customer, "Hey, the part's still not coming in. They saying the 23rd." The customer is going to tell you, well, I can look at it on eBay and I can get it off of eBay. And they start looking on eBay and Amazon, and then they trying to find something used, and you getting all that, and it can get tiresome. I've been dealing with that, trying to get parts in a simple bake element, a simple bake element. They have 200 of them in the stores, and they haven't had one since Thanksgiving, and here it is come Christmas, and the bake element I still don't think is going to be in. And you got to call them every day to tell them that. But the thing is to be consistent, to give them updates every other day. I got to call people and tell them. And as long as I'm consistent and they know that I'm on top of it. Even though, and they've realized now that because of the pandemic, things are getting harder and harder to get. So they've been understanding, but that hurts. And that put a lot of pressure on us. You have to do that all the time. to the point now where I'm just ready to take a break. We're gonna read a couple of the messages we got going on here on the chat. And like I said, I'm not gonna be too long today because, like I said, I'm getting the wind down into Christmas mode too. I'm not gonna be here doing these long shows. I'm gonna get some time where, like I said, I've been away a lot from the family, so these holidays I'm gonna spend a lot of time with my family this holiday. And like I said, if you hadn't already, the hiring of the subs modules is now available on Appliance Bootcamp. You go up under Appliance Bootcamp, that module, you'll see a section that says hiring subs, and you can see it's 3 parts. Now, and you also get a copy of my sales spreadsheet that I use to actually pay my subs. And I explain how I use that sales spreadsheet. All right. Hey, Untamed Kango, Segaphonics, DCNF, what's going on? G Brown. Hey, how you doing? Greg B, what's up? Tax Elite Properties. Hey, how you doing? Quentin Hodge. Hey, how you doing? Also, are these courses available to us that already paid for? Yeah, if you pay for the course, yeah, just go back into your course and look up on the look up, go to Appliance Bootcamp, the hands-on online training thing, and you'll see a folder under there that says hiring subs, and you'll have all of that. Thanks, Black 1222. The value you add to the alumni is second to none, Mike. No problem. Thanks. All right. Mike, do you let your subs give price quotes or strictly blue? Nah, they go by Blue Book. Nah, they go by Blue Book. I want everybody to get the same price, and I go over that in the course. I have the online Blue Book on their cell phones, so I give each sub a cell phone. And they on the cell phone, I tell you what apps I put on their cell phone. I put online Blue Books, and if before I had the online Blue Books, I gave each one of them a copy of the Blue Book because you want them to be given the same price out every time. Because what's going to happen? A lot of these property management companies, the people who over them, they talk to each other. They meet and they talk. It's they know each other. And if you're giving them one price for this, and then you call and give somebody else another price, they're gonna want to know why this person getting a better price than they are. Same thing. If you a neighbor refer you to somebody else, and then they got a different price than you got, then they're gonna compare their bills, and they want to know why their price was different than theirs. So you make sure everybody's given the exact same price across the board. Will you be opening the in-person courses back up soon? Yeah, we open back up next month. We got courses January, February, and March. Okay, Greg B. So I'm booked up until next Tuesday. Yeah, that's another thing too. Be sure to block off what days you taking off now. And like I'm taking off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and you need to go ahead and block off New Year's Day, and you won't get a surprise and book somebody on those holidays. If you're doing online, go ahead and block those out because people they'll go pull those days. Believe it or not, some people might not have family around, and they say, hey, that's just a regular work day, and or some people from different cultures, no, they don't might not celebrate Christmas, and they look at it just a regular work day, and they see that you working, they'll try to schedule you. You don't want to have that and have to call somebody and reschedule. So make sure you get those days blocked off. Frank Evans, busy is good. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Hey, how you doing, Terry Henry? All right. B Rambus. Okay. Warren G. Good evening. Hey, how you doing? Michael Campbell. What's up? How you doing? How you doing, Greg B? Uh, yeah, he booked up to the 23rd. Yeah, I think everybody pretty much booked up. Uh, hey, how you doing, Donnie Madison? Okay. Ewan, hey, how you doing? A9 Dr. Funk. Brian Tracy, my man. I listen to him all the time. Yeah, I listen to Brian Tracy a lot. He has some good stuff. Hey, how you doing? Because it don't read. Lewis T. Jay Haywood. All right. Yeah, Brian Tracy's good. Um, Terry Henry. Wow, how about a customer just text me about installing the ring doorbell? I just scheduled him for the 20th. Yep. Uh, okay. Nah, I think a lot of people, 89 Dr. Funk, he said he thought he was the only person sleeping to YouTube. Nah, I think a lot of people have. I it's funny. I listen to YouTube and stuff so much. I don't look at TV. So when the family is, we sit down looking at TV. They looking at a TV show. I'm looking. I'm listening to a YouTube channel. But I set in there. I set in there while they looking at TV. But I don't have no. I can't look at TV. I can't look at TV, and I can't listen to the radio. It just don't do it for me anymore. Honestly, the radio and TV just doesn't do it for me. I can't do it. I can't sit there and watch it. I have to use. I'm constantly. There's so much stuff on YouTube that and so much knowledge and stuff to get on YouTube that I'm just totally consumed by it. And some people think they say you addicted to that phone. All you do is sit there and listen to that phone. I'm not. I tell them, I say, you all look at TV or you listen to the radio when we driving and we going someplace. If they want to listen to the radio, they can listen. I'm gonna listen to YouTube. I'll put my headphones in. 601, you're on. 601, you're on.
Hey, Mike, it's Gabe.
Hey, how you doing, Gabe? That's your man.
Hey, doing good. Yeah, I saw Brian Tracy go by. I was like, oh, I got to call him. Man, it's so important. I hope everyone's really listening tonight. It's so important to really pay attention to these kind of books that you and I recommend. You never know what book will actually speak to you, but that one, by far, it's such a small book, and it will change your life if you just listen to it.
No doubt. Now that's your book. Eat that frog. That's the book that done it.
Yeah, Eat That Frog. Brian Tracy has one called Goals as well. That's a really good one. The audio version of that one's really good. Richest Man in Babylon. That's a really great one.
Yeah. Now I admit, Richest Man in Babylon. That was one that really, really hit with me. Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, the audio on that's really good. If you don't have that one on Audible, get that on Audible. All the different characters have different voices. It's really great to, especially with what we do. You know, we're in the car a lot, driving from place to place. It's a great place to have an education. And was the old Brian Tracy saying, "It's don't chew bubble gum with your ears." You know, don't always just listen to music in the car. Throw it on. You get a full college education sitting in your car listening to things.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. With Audible, I buy the subscription where you get so many credits per month, and then you can listen. Do you normally listen to Audible now, or do you read?
I Audible.
Me too.
Yeah, for the most part, I listen to Audible. Yeah, I've had my Audible subscription since I think 2012.
And believe it or not, that's why my spelling's so bad. When I used to read, my spelling had improved, but I don't read now. I do Audible. And I like to mark it and come back. And it takes me sometimes I have to listen to it 2 or 3 times. And I love Audible.
Oh, yeah. You can speed it up a little bit. Especially some narrators are way too slow. So you can speed up, but your brain will start catching up a little while. You put it at 2 times speed, and it'll sound fast at first. But after a little while, you're shooting through those books, and you listen 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Something else you said, too, about Audible that's very that I love. Like you say, you can listen to different voices to narrate. Some books, it'll start off with somebody else narrating. I don't like it. And I say, I want to find somebody else that talks in a different voice that I can relate to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's one, Scott Adams. He's real good. He has a book on writing goals. Yeah. Now, Think Bigly, I think.
He's the guy who does the Dilbert cartoons, right?
Yep, he's the guy that does Dilbert. He got in a weird kind of trouble, like around 2016. He's not, to get political, he's not a Trump person, but he predicted because he was judging by who had the best influence as far as who could influence a room, by who was going to win the election, and he was correct when everyone else was wrong. And then he got in a lot of trouble for that, but he's not a political type person. It's more, the book's more about writing down your goals, how influence works, how that kind of stuff works. But it's a very good book.
Yeah. I actually love. I shouldn't say love. I actually like Scott Adams because my job title when I was an engineer, I was the same thing as Dilbert. I was a test engineer, so I always thought those everything he does in those cartoons I could relate to him, and we used to always read them when I was an engineer. But he has some great interviews and everything. He's an intelligent guy. Very intelligent. Yeah,
he has a very good take on. I'm sure you've read this book, The Secret.
Yes.
Okay, he has a very unmystical version of that. That's pretty much what Think Bigly, I think, is the one that he has on that. But where The Secret has, not to put the Secret down, but it has a lot of things where, you're putting things out into the universe and they're coming back to you, where he has a much more down to earth version of it. He absolutely 100% believes it, but he has a version that I like a little more than what The Secret is. It's like a different version of The Secret.
Okay. I have to check that one out. I'm going to write that one down. I haven't read his version, but I'm definitely going to write it down and check it out.
Yeah, he's the one that got me writing my main goal 5 times a day on a note card. He's the one that kind of got me started on that.
Oh, okay. And you put it out in the universe, and it comes back to you. You focus on it. You bring it. Now, I'm going to tell you. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
His version of that is different. That's kind of why I like his version. He thinks of it more as people are kind of dumb, and everyone's a little dumber than what we actually think we are. And we kind of forget where we're heading to. You don't know the direction you're going. So when you have a goal and you write it one time, you stick it somewhere and you forget about it. But when you're thinking about it and you're writing it 5 times down every single night, your brain starts working on ways and it starts recognizing things. It's like if you ever bought a car and all of a sudden you look around, that car is everywhere. You see that car popping up, it's driving down the road. Hey, that guy's got my same car. It's the same car I got. It's the same thing, only you're seeing paths to your goals. So that's kind of his version of it.
I definitely subscribe to that too. Sometimes my goals, I start off on thinking it's going to come one way, but then eventually it comes. When it comes, it comes exactly what I needed and so similar to what I wanted. But it got, somebody tweaked it. I don't know who it was, but somebody tweaked it to get it exactly what I wanted and needed. I thought I needed it this way, but it got tweaked, and it was exactly what I wanted and needed it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You kind of, when you're writing things down every night over and over again, your brain will start working on it, and it will start looking for other paths to get there. Especially, I like to put a timeline down on goals. I'll give it a countdown. And then you really have that whole guilt feeling when you look at it and you're like, oh, I only got 280 days left to achieve this goal. Instead, even if you miss the goal, you're going to get so much closer to it because you're going to be pushing as hard as you possibly can to get to that goal, because otherwise you've lied to yourself 5 times every single night. You write that down on that card, and you'll actually feel sick in your stomach when you realize you're behind on your goals. You need to start pushing forward, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, no doubt. And I like to make my goals not something that I can easily achieve. I like to push it out just a little bit so I can actually push myself a little bit. And sometimes I when I do achieve them, I go back and look. I'm like, God knows you done that. It kind of surprised me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the thing I originally wrote down, this was over 5 years ago. I started writing, I will retire at 35, making $10,000 a month in rent. I am 35 right now. I'm closing on 2 more properties very soon, hopefully in the next 2 days.
Yeah,
but I'm going to be right on the edge of 10,000.
Tell me your channel real quick too, Gabe, so everybody know. If you don't know Gabe, for y'all don't know, you know his channel, Wash Your Dryer Money. You can go over to YouTube and watch that. Yeah,
check it out. But it's one of those, it's insane. When I was originally writing that down, I was renting a place.
Wow.
Absolutely what you're talking about with going from, if you do it every time, and it has to be something trackable. That's the nice thing about, make sure you have in your goal that you're rewriting a monetary number. That way you can kind of be like, oh yeah, I got 1 rent house. So let's see, this much rent. Oh, here's a second one. I've got to move this much. All right, I got this many more years to get to this goal. But it needs to be something that you can track. And I think it's Tim Ferriss had that saying, what you can track, you can improve.
Yeah.
So make sure whatever your goal is, it's not something that's doesn't have a number behind it. It should have a date when you want to achieve it by. You should have at least a 5-year goal and a 6-month goal. A 6-month goal is a good quick one to boost your business, but a 5-year goal should be something big, something that feels very uncomfortable to write.
Yeah, no doubt. Now let me ask you this: who do you tell your goals to? Do you tell your goals to anyone?
Anyone, everyone. If you're ashamed to say your goals, you're probably not going to achieve them.
Do you get much ridicule when you tell people your goals?
Not anymore. I'm about to, I'm actually about to reach it, but not anymore. Yeah, I know. I'm sure a couple of years ago, my friends, when I would say, "Hey, this is what I'm shooting for. This is what I'm at," I'm sure. And you need to have some carrots along the way too. When I got halfway to my goal, I had the goal of, I had the carrot of going to Japan.
Uh-huh.
And, even that trip was super cheap. I went on a cheap ticket. I stayed in Airbnbs for under $30 a night, and I had a great time. But you need to make sure you have rewards along the way, and it's not just this long goal that doesn't seem to have an end. And when you hit an end, it needs to be a nice reward on it. You need to include your family on that reward. If it's Disney World or whatever it is, but you make sure you have a good carrot. And then if it's a huge goal, you should break it up into smaller goals and put carrots along the path so you have something to look forward to.
Yeah. When you hit those carrots, did you get excited, or did you feel kind of reluctant to say, like, we got ready to go to China? You went to China or Japan?
China, but not China, Japan.
Japan. When you got ready to go to Japan, did you feel a little reluctant when you got ready to drop that money to buy that airplane ticket and go stay there that time, or was it exciting? You was ready to go?
It was exciting the whole time. I had my goal of how many rentals I was going to have at that time and how much money I had saved. And the amount of money I spent, I always say this too. There's if you listen to some YouTubers, there's a guy that does, let me think, what's his channel called? I'm going to forget his channel, but he has a saying on it that if you can't afford 5, you can't afford 1.
Yeah.
And I knew I put enough money away that I could easily do it. And at the time, I saved up enough money that I could not only do the trip inexpensively, but it wasn't going to hurt me financially.
Right.
So it didn't feel bad. I definitely wouldn't have done it if I was going to be down to my last penny.
Right. Yeah. I remember probably been about maybe 5-6 years ago. We went out to Hawaii for a couple of weeks, and I remember when we got ready to go, it was so nice to know that you could take your family there. And then when we got there, I'll never forget one time I went down and I spent really big one night, and I was kind of thinking about it when I went to bed. So, man, you got to be here several more days, and you'll cut pretty deep tonight. And I woke up the next morning, and I had a couple of deposits come in. I had a couple of subs had made their deposits. I had some money come from third-party warranties hit, and I was right back. And I said, man, this is good. I can stay here forever and not have to worry about anything. It just kept getting replenished. And at that point in time, that's when I realized that I had pretty much made it. For myself in business, I can actually step away and not hurt my family.
Yeah, passive income. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah. Now, you got any short term goals or long term goals you ready to hit now?
I'm gonna take at least a year off when I hit my mark. And I'm about to buy this. I told you the same place that I was trying to buy last time. It's been a whirlwind of a situation. I'll bring it up on my channel after everything's good and closed, but it's been crazy. But when I get that one, I'll be really close, and I'll probably just need a little bit more, and I'll be at my goal. But I'll definitely celebrate it. I was planning on taking a year off and traveling. That was before the whole pandemic kind of stuff started happening. But eventually all that's going to be over anyway, and I'll do it then. And in the meanwhile, I actually, making YouTube videos. I've always wanted to make repair videos because there's so many horrible ones out there. I just kind of want to take my time and do some of the easy repair videos that I know how to do. And some of those videos you look at and they're 8 years old, and it's just a guy holding a cell phone and it's shaking all over the place. And that's what a lot of guys, when I was starting out, that was the videos I was watching. And I always wanted to replace a bunch of those videos. So I might take some time off and do some of that. But I don't know, not that that's fun, but I kind of like making videos.
Yeah, they get fun. They get fun. Sometimes now I have to limit myself because when I go around, I bring my camera, and nobody stop recording. Don't put all your whole life on YouTube. So now I have to kind of limit myself and make sure I'm not just putting every little aspect of my life on YouTube. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know you feel it all the time, but every once in a while somebody will look me up on Facebook. They'll shoot me a message saying that you watching your videos and now I'm making this much money and I can't believe it's just from selling washers and dryers. And like, that makes that's amazing. That's one of
Yes,
those things I feel
yes.
like God also blessed me. I want to make sure I leave a nice path to how I did it
Uh-huh.
because, God gave this to me. It's not for me to hide away and hope no one else finds. I'm not going to be using this soon. I want everyone to know how to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's great. Wait till you start it might be happening now. When you go place, do people recognize you from YouTube yet?
No, never had. I've had my neighbor recognize me. I don't know how he saw me, but he asked if I do YouTube videos. And like, I don't know how he figured that out, but yeah, that's the only person that's ever recognized me.
Well, it's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna be
That'll be
serious.
weird.
Yeah, that's when it gets to be a little weird when people start to when you go out in public and people recognize you from YouTube. That at first that got a little weird when people, because what happened, they see you on YouTube and they form a relationship with you, and so when they come up and they talk to you, it's almost like they know you, but you don't know anything about them. You're trying to figure out, no, how does this person know me? And then you realize it's YouTube. And I didn't do this starting off. I wish I had. You want to be, don't put your address and stuff out there where people can get your address and stuff, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, because you some crazy people out here. And like I say, whoever sends me those packages and balloons and all that, thank you. That I appreciate them. But my wife's starting to think I got a girlfriend. So please, please hold back on the flowers and all this secret admirer stuff. I'm okay with that now. So I keep telling her it's YouTube, but she thinking I got a girlfriend someplace. So let's hold back on the flowers and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Other than
I don't
that,
know if I want to look forward to that. That's a good idea. I think I'll keep out. I don't need any of that kind of trouble in my life.
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. You start getting flowers and balloons and stuff to your house, and you be. I thought my wife was sending them to me, and and she said, "Who keeps sending you these flowers and stuff?" I don't know. Somebody off the internet. So,
All right, man. Well, great show. I mean, every time I turn your show on, I hear really great stuff, and I think you're doing a great job teaching people. I think you're teaching a lot more people than I am, but like,
I'm not.
Anyone's out there that thinks that might not be true what Mike's talking about, it's 100% true. You can make so much money in the appliance business that it's crazy. It's crazy how much money you can make in this business.
Mm-hmm. And like I say, man, thank you for everything you do too. And like I said, I love your channel, and I love it. You showing people just the very basic stuff, something just simple, washers and dryers, and that's just great, man. I'm serious. Thank you for everything you do.
All right, I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Gabe.
All right, later.
All right, bye bye. All right, we're gonna read one or two more, and then we're gonna get out of here. Uh, Traveling is going to be that's top authority. Oh, Blake Bonnet say I like Gabe channel too. Very intelligent. Yeah, Gabe got a great channel. He's doing great stuff. Great stuff. They got some networking going on. Networking going on. Uh, But once again, hey, it's getting close to that time. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you hadn't already, you can go to the Appliance Bootcamp online, and I've added the hiring of the subs modules that's in there. The flipping of the appliances that'll be coming up this week. I have that one in, and then we'll close it out at the end of the year. We'll be closing it out with the QuickBooks. And from there, we'll be going back to doing the hands-on live event. And hey, we're gonna have some fun. Like I say, I got some stuff coming up. I might have some stuff coming up before the end of the year. Some nice stuff coming up too. That I might be doing. I key y'all in on that. Got a couple of buildings I'm looking at. And right now I'm kind of waiting on material to finish some of my other houses. For some reason, there's a shortage on material right now. Just like we shortage on parts. If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, they short on. You can't buy breakers. They short on everything. So right now, I'm just waiting on material so I can get back into my houses. And right now, getting closer to Christmas, some of the inspectors and stuff are pushed out, and I got some stuff waiting to get inspected. So, but once again, I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll be back again on Thursday night. And like I said, go check out the hiring of the subs, and I have a couple of more modules coming up later, and I have a couple of videos between now and Thursday. And if you hadn't already, go check out Gabe's channel again, Washer and Dryer Money. Great channel. He's doing great things over there, showing you how to make money just flipping washers and dryers. He's doing great stuff. Once again, thank you all for watching.